Thanks for joining us tonight on this happy Friday. I want to come together with you and discuss a topic I think we all have in common because we all experience together, and that is COVID. And I have a question for you. I want to know how COVID has affected your life. Has it affected your health? Has it affected your finances? Has it affected your social life? I have some solutions. I don't mean to harp on doom and gloom, but I'm going to share a little bit about my story, how it affected me. And as I'm sharing my story, I want you to write down how it's really affected your personal life. And then at the end of our discussion, I'm going to have some solutions for how we can turn around our health and our finances and our social life. So when COVID hit back in March, I was in the middle of New York, actually en route to New York to work a spa show. And no sooner than I stepped off the plane, I got a call from my skincare boss. And he said, the show has been shut down. New York is now in a state of emergency. And I'm like, oh my God. So he said, you can have 4 days in New York, but there's probably not going to be any shows for the rest of the year. And I said, wow, that was a hard pill to swallow because here we are at the beginning of March. So I spent 4 days with my daughter in Manhattan and, you know, was kind of wondering what was going to happen to the world when I returned back to Florida. And 4 days after I got back to Florida, my job at Clinique, they kind of gave us a little forewarning that they probably were going to be shutting down the stores very shortly. And within a week, the stores were permanently shut down. And I am a sales rep, a freelance artist for Clinique. I go to all the Ulta stores and train the young girls. And I basically do demonstrations with makeup. So the convention work that I was doing was shut down for the rest of the year. My job at Clinique, where I had been, I had worked there like 15 years ago, but I had just returned back to Clinique for 3 years, that was let go. This was not something I was prepared for. I'm also, as I said, a medical esthetician by trade. So I have my own skincare clients for 13 years that I would service out of my home. And due to COVID, I no longer have the opportunity to do that either. So my financial future did not look too bright at that moment. And again, it was very early in COVID. It was, you know, back in March. We didn't know 1 week from the next what was going to happen to our country, to our jobs, but it happened very abruptly to me. So one thing I did have left standing was a Superfoods online business that I had been just kind of slowly working for the past 2.5 years prior to COVID. But as you heard, I had a lot of other coals in the fire as well. So I was not just working the Superfoods online store, I was spread very thin amongst other jobs and occupations. So as I said, the last thing standing after COVID hit us all so hard was my opportunity with my Superfoods online store. And I was thankful at that moment that I had something all to myself that nobody could take away. That was up to me if I shut that down. And I was not going to shut that down because, again, it was the only thing left standing. So residual income, to me, at that moment, really had a whole new dimension. I had some existing clients that I had worked over the years. I had built a small team, but again, I was spread too thin to really concentrate. And there was no better time to implement superfoods than COVID. I think during COVID, everyone began to wake up that we're in the middle of a health crisis. And, you know, everyone tries to protect themselves with masks and gloves, but I've I've been involved in the health and wellness industry for decades, and I know that you can't just wear a mask and gloves to protect yourself from a virus. You've got to start building your own immunity. You've got to build your health. You have to build, the antioxidants in your body. You have to repair your microbiome, which is where your immune house basically is stored, right in your gut. So it kind of opened up a whole new world for me, because we're in the middle of crisis as a global nation, okay? We're in the middle of a crisis. We have a health crisis, but we also now have a financial crisis because everything's shutting down. And this is, pre-stimulus packages. This is pre-unemployment. This is pre-anybody thinking that they were going to get any help from anyone. Help didn't exist at this point in time. So I really began to press into my network marketing business at home, this Superfoods online store. And as everyone was selling hand sanitizers and making masks, I decided to get the word out. What are you doing for your immune system? And there were a lot of people scared. There were a lot of people that were suffering from health issues that now were really terrified that because they had not been preparing, and we're going to get into preparing too, we always should be in a preventative mode to prevent disease, because it's easier to prevent disease than to get rid of it. So lucky for me, I did one thing right. I had been eating my superfoods for all this time. So I felt like my health was strong. If I stayed on these superfoods, I think I would be fine to resist this virus. But there are many people out there not in the same health condition as myself. My finances, however, I sadly have to admit that I was among the 70% of Americans that didn't even have $1,000 of savings to their name. So that's a pretty grueling statistic in the midst of, utter global shutdown. 70% of Americans today don't even have $1,000 to their name in case of a pandemic, in case of a global shutdown. And I don't think any of us expected at the beginning of 2020 that we'd all be in this situation together. Nor did we think socially we would find ourselves confined in the home for 3 months, or unable to see our grandparents in assisted living facilities. So this network marketing Superfoods online store that I had, I began trying to help. I began trying to get the word out that I had something that could help them. But before I go any further, I just want to share some statistics. Apart from COVID, this is really interesting. Did you know that 60% of cancer can be prevented? 80% of heart disease can be prevented. 90% of diabetes can be prevented. So if anything, this pandemic has been a blessing in disguise, because it's a wake-up call that we all need to prepare for our health, our financial future, and really during COVID, getting back to the social aspect, you really find out who your friends are, and you really find out what your relationships are made of, because we all are used to going out, meeting people. You also find out what you're made of when you're in the middle of your room 24/7 staring at the four walls. Are you going to develop yourself in that time, or are you going to let it affect you like it unfortunately has affected a lot of Americans with depression, with hopelessness? Some people lost their businesses that it took them 30 years to build overnight in 3 months. And there was nothing that the bailouts or the small business loans could do for them to get back on their feet. So I decided to work my business. I decided to have a good attitude. I decided to maintain my health with these amazing superfoods, because we don't just have a COVID crisis, we actually have a food crisis that preceded this pandemic. And it's a crisis when 85% of your food is sprayed with an herbicide and a pesticide called glyphosate. Glyphosate alone increases our chances of cancer by 42% in each individual. And that's, you know, a heavy statistic to fight off if you don't have a prevention plan in place. So, and just a little background, one of the reasons I've always regarded my health is that I lost my mom at 3 years old to cancer, and this was back in the early 70s. They were not connecting the dots back then that it could be anything to do with what we eat. But those statistics I gave you about diabetes and heart disease and cancer, folks, it can be preventable. The statistics are in your favor. You can turn it around by 60%, 80%, 90%. But we have to be informed of what's going into our foods, what's in the food supply, and we have to find a trusted source. And we have to find it now. We have to find a trusted source of food now. So my online superfood store has been around for 25 years, not my personal business, but the company that makes these fabulous superfoods. They've been around for 25 years. They've been doing organic farming since before organic farming was in. Their standards are way above the National Organic Protection Agency's standards. Many people don't know, but the National Organic Protection Agency allows you to use up to 40 different pesticides if you're an organic farmer. And our company just does not do that. We don't take advantage of what we're allowed to do because our standards are so high. The purity is so high that the owner of this company is so committed to providing for you a nutrient-dense, plant-based food. There's no binders, fillers, hormones. There's no glyphosate. There's no genetically modified ingredients. Our company manufactures these foods. We not only farm them, we manufacture them, and we send them to you. So it literally is farm to family. So today, if you were to go into Whole Foods and you didn't have any knowledge prior to me sharing it with you that the organic produce you're about to buy has possibly been sprayed up to 40 different times before you bought it, that would cause you some alarm, and it should. So I find peace knowing that these superfoods that I'm making, I'm adding it to some fresh purified water, and I'm shaking it up, and I'm starting my day. And midday, I'm shaking another shake and getting all my nutrition in a 20-ounce shaker bottle of nutrient-dense food. So finances I want to touch on now too. If you found yourself in a situation like me where the jobs were gone, I was glad that I had something in motion. But one thing our company did is they created a superfood stimulus. Our company not only wanted to see you thrive during this pandemic and get healthy, they wanted to meet people where they were at, knowing that all of our income had been affected. So they provided an opportunity for us to start a superfood online business at no cost. Now, when I got started 3 years ago, it cost me about $500 to get my business set up. And that is a website, a phone app where I can send educational videos to my people, training, a library of learning. It cost me $500 to get started. Because of COVID, our company wanted to help people create a new stream of income that nobody could take away from you. So they were offering a free business along with a specific superfood pack. So not only could you start your way onto amazing health, you also could start earning money. Now, let me tell you how I earn money in this business. If I share my superfood online store with a prospective client or someone really in need, someone that has health issues, someone that wants to protect themselves, especially during the times we're living in, I give them a gift code with my name on it. They go to our Superfoods website, they put in my gift code, and they get $50 off in their first order, and I make 20% on their first order and ongoing. They're coded into the system as my customer for life. And every time they order, and these foods are a lifestyle, I'm going to make 20%. That's beautiful residual income. And I'm helping somebody get healthy. So I love this business model. And when COVID hit, I had a new appreciation for what I had been dabbling in for
Is she frozen for you guys?
I get paid weekly commissions, and I get a monthly commission on my previous month's work. So that was really nice during COVID. I was able to lift my head high because all the income was not taken off the table for me. So I thought to myself, if I press in and help more people and help to improve their health, you know, I can get the residual will going. And that's what I've been doing since COVID. I've been in my element. I've been so fulfilled because, as Gandhi says, hold on, I wrote down his quote because it's so beautiful. The best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. That's Gandhi. So when you're helping people get well, there's no greater fulfillment. When they start taking back their health by eating chemical-free, pesticide-free foods, there's no greater fulfillment than improving the quality of someone's life. The other thing is, this company we're a tribe. We're a tribe of people varying from realtors, naturopaths, licensed beauty, and health professionals. We're single moms. We're regular people, but we have a common mindset, and that is we want to change the world one person and one family at a time. All the human suffering that we have going on right now in our world today is because people don't feel good. Their vibration isn't high. If you eat dead, devitalized foods, you're not going to be your best. If you're scared about your future and your income, you're going to be stressed out. These stress hormones kill us. They break down our immune system. They make us sick, and they cause us to lose hope. And this community of people in our Superfoods tribe, we all have a same mindset where we want to, first of all, protect the temple we've been given, but we want to unite and we want to help as many people as possible start feeling good about their health, their energy, their finances. With this business, because of the superfood stimulus package that we're offering you right now, that includes an automated marketing system that's already in place for you in the form of your $50 gift codes. You're going to be given a back office. You're going to be giving a library for all the learning you actually need to know to be able to share these superfoods. You're going to get the personal business app to send videos. You're going to get weekly virtual trainings and personal and business private coaching. You're going to be a part of a team, and you're going to be part of a community. So let me just address that social aspect of how this has affected everybody. I have a lot of friends, and many of them fell into depression. Many of them had young children. I have a 24-year-old. He's been suffering depression during this whole crisis because when you lose your purpose and you lose your sense of community, it starts to break you down on the inside. So fortunately for me, I've had the opposite effect. I really connected with this community of like-minded people. We met weekly. We were challenging each other. It's always inspirational because, like my upline today was talking about the law of attraction. I mean, you know, she's telling me about, hey, if you see it and believe it, you can have it. So on a personal level, there's a lot of development. We're not just getting well. We're not just securing another stream of income, but, you know, we're encouraging each other to keep growing our mind and our faith and our expectation of what type of life you want to design. The other thing is you become your own boss. So I also know a lot of people during COVID, when they were able to break away from their job, they started reevaluating their life. And some of them actually loved working from home. And you can do that in this business directly from your phone. If you don't even have a computer, that's okay. Because the way this business model is set up, you can have a thriving business straight from your iPhone or your Android or whatever kind of phone you have. You work and earn on your own terms. And you kind of create the culture and the team that you always envisioned. Sometimes in the workplace, you know, we don't have a choice about who we're around. We're all kind of thrown in the pot and we're expected to get along. But in this business, you can attract like-minded people that you actually want to partner with and help them grow their business as well. So there's a lot of incentives for building each other, a lot of bonuses, a lot of extra rewards that you can achieve. You also don't need any inventory. As a medical esthetician, I can't even tell you how much I would spend monthly to offer a facial. Can be costly. You're responsible for equipment. You're responsible for insurance. You're responsible for product. You're responsible for the retail products that you want your clients to start using on their skin. There's a lot more money going out monthly than sometimes there is coming in. So with this business, you are directing them to your own superfood online store without all the startup costs of a new business. So it's like you're getting a mini franchise, and there is no franchise fee. All you have to say yes is to health and wealth, because that's what happens when you start, number one, getting yourself well, and then two, deciding you want to help other people. A lot of abundance starts coming your way in the form of relationships, in the form of connections. I have made the best friends in this business, and relationships that I know I'm going to have for a lifetime. And it's all because we had a common goal. And this isn't a quick, rich get scheme. This is a new lifestyle. And a lifestyle is an ongoing thing. A lifestyle is something that you create. It's something that you build. It's something that's ever evolving. It's not, you know, you do it for a month and you're done. This is something that you are developing, just like you're developing your muscles when you go to the gym. So I challenge you, as I was sharing my story, what is your story? What was your experience during COVID? Could a sense of community, could another stream of income, could improved health help change your world or create a new future for yourself? Because you don't have to be a victim, not even to this pandemic. You don't have to be a victim. This is actually a time to reset. This is a time to reevaluate. And this is actually a time to design the life you always wished you had. Now, I have been able to accomplish new ranks during COVID. So my business has gone up. And one other important thing, during COVID, the FDA approved our company as an essential. So our overall company growth, we've grown 3 times. And so people still have to eat. They have to eat every day. They're eating 3 meals a day. I've saved money on my groceries from these superfoods. I've lowered cholesterol levels. I've lost weight, and there's many other symptoms that I've seen my friends and family reverse because of these superfoods. So evaluate your life. Please message me. If you have any questions, I'd love to show you what this entails. I'd love to invite you to be a part of our team. And I'd love for you to try these superfoods so they can start energizing your life, improving your digestion, enhancing your sleep. And as an esthetician, I have to say, there's no better food on the planet that helps your skin but these superfoods. Now, if a woman had a financial obstacle and she came to me and she said, should I get the topical for my face or should I get the superfoods? I would tell her hands down every time, do the superfoods first. Let the topicals be the icing on the cake, because I believe in true beauty from the inside out. And that's what these foods will offer you. So thank you for your time. And I'd love to hear your story. I'd love to hear how you made it through COVID and maybe how this business opportunity can help you right now and your future. So partner with me. I'm excited to hear from you. And thanks again for tuning in and spending this time with me. Bye.